The Sony 1000XM4. When will it be launched and what should we look out for? Yeah, how's it going, bros? My name is Aaron. Welcome back to BROTALK, a weekly episode where I respond to some of your questions and comments. But first, let's talk about the Sony 1000XM4. Yes, Sony's sequel to the world famous 1000XM3. Now, we all know, and I did a video about it a very long time ago, that we all know it's gonna be released sometime in September, possibly in the early part of September during IFA. And we know this because the 1000XM3, the M2, and the M1 before it were all launched during the IFA exhibition in Berlin in the early part of September. We're talking about the first week of September. Of course, apart from that, there were some other indications that this was going to happen. For example, the 1000XM3 going on discount, the 1000XM3 being offered as a free gift with every purchase of a Sony Xperia 1 smartphone. All these warning signs leads me to believe that indeed the 1000XM4 is going to be released in September. Now, do we have the exact date? Thankfully, I think I do. Okay, I gotta put out a disclaimer here. This is not information provided by Sony. So if it turns out that I'm wrong, please forgive me and please don't flame my comment section. But if it turns out that I'm right, henceforth, I shall be known as the Oracle of Audio. How's that? Okay, so here goes. The IFA exhibition will begin on the 6th. It ends on the 11th. So, the XM4 will be released on the 6th, right? Not so fast. The media event where journalists and bloggers will get to tour the exhibition and have hands-on experience with the product begins on the 4th of September. So, I believe that the XM4 will be released on the 4th of September, and that is when you'll get to see media reports, videos, and articles about the 1000XM4. But Sony might issue a press release end of August. So it's kind of like what they did last year. Press release goes out on the 31st of August, and then the launch itself takes place at IFA. Okay, so I'm very excited to see what the XM4 has in store for us. Like I said before in my predictions video, which you can watch over here by the way, I said that I expect the XM4 to have some improvements to its microphone system, because that's like the biggest complaint that anyone has about the XM3. The XM3 has terrible phone call quality, and I predict that the XM4 is going to introduce some improvements on that front. Maybe give us the ability to reduce or eliminate ambient noise pass-through when we're having a phone call. So this is something that the Bose Headphone 700 can do. I don't see why the Sony 1000XM4 shouldn't have these features. Also, multi-point pairing, the ability to connect to two different devices at once, Bluetooth 5.0. How about the ability to customize the controls so that instead of using the touchpad, you could now use the buttons to do your music controls, etc. If you are living in a very cold country like a Nordic country. Because some people have complained that in very cold weather, the touchpad becomes wonky. So that's gonna be something good to have, the ability to switch to using buttons instead of the touchpad all the time. Now, will the XM4 have any improvement to its noise cancellation, or will it have any improvements made to its design and build quality? This we gotta see when it comes out this September, most likely September the 4th. Okay, so right now we're gonna look at some questions and comments I've received over the past couple of weeks. Most of the questions are from this video I did about the Sony WF-1000XM3, the earbuds. If you're interested, you can watch it over here. This one is from Enforcer. Bro, Trouble understanding you. Can you hire a garment that ladies wear to translate for you? Well, I don't need any translation, but you do, so maybe you should do the hiring instead. Arya Nugroho. I'm sure it's pronounced that way. What is the point of having Sony wireless audio with no LDAC codec on it? He's talking about the WF-1000XM3, not having LDAC. Well, LDAC might be a great idea for enjoying high-res music, but in terms of signal reliability, it's better to use another codec, because if you use a pair of true wireless earbuds with LDAC, okay, so let's not even talk about true wireless earbuds. If you use a pair of headphones with LDAC, it might be okay if you're listening to your music at home, but once you step outside, you will get a lot of signal drops because LDAC is not very good in terms of maintaining a stable Bluetooth connection with your phone. So that's possibly why Sony did not implement LDAC on the WF-1000XM3 wireless earbuds, but it does not explain why Sony did not implement aptX. I think it should have aptX, but it does not. So that's kind of sad. Next question is from Adrian.361, commenting my video in which I compared the JBL Extreme 2 speaker to the Extreme 1. Are you Newt Gunray? Now that's hurtful. That hurts my feelings real bad. That's very sad. Next question comes from Martel the Cool, commenting on my video about the Jabra Elite 65T and how I compared it against the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Really cool video. If you like the 65T, watch this video over here. Which earbuds got aptX low latency? Only one pair of earbuds that I've come across has aptX low latency support, and that is the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless earbuds. No other earbuds I've tried have that. But if you guys know of any other earbuds that have aptX low latency, tell me in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll be really grateful if you did that. Zahid Zainal says, hello man, you should do a comparison between the new JBL 3X and the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Well, so I did think about doing such a video, a shootout between the JBL 3X and the Samsung Galaxy Buds. But I didn't do it because I thought, hey, these two products, they are not so new. So I was quite skeptical about how interested you guys would be in such a video. But if you're interested, tell me in the comment section below and we'll see what can be done, okay? Next question is from Your Anonymous, commenting on my video about the Jabra Elite 85H. Now, in this video, I compared it against the Sony 1000XM3. So it's a very interesting video because I did like a full noise cancelling test, which you can hear for yourself. So it's a pretty epic video. I recommend that you watch it over here. Hey Aaron, loved your reviews, thank you. And I'm thinking of buying the Jabras, but one thing that stops me is no AAC support. So the 85H only supports SBC at the moment. You mentioned that they will be updated with AAC support in the future, but I can't find any mention of this anywhere online. Now, this information was communicated to me by Jabra's head of sales and marketing of the Asia Pacific region. So he said that there will be AAC support for the 85H in the future, but he did not say when. No timeline yet, but if you follow this space, as soon as I get some information about the AAC support, I will get back to you, okay? So, this is the best answer I can give for now. No timeline, I'm sorry. Must Energy or Must Energy. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this. He's commenting on the video I did about how I compared the H9i, the BioPlay H9i with the Sony 1000XM4. Now, he's saying here you didn't feel the bass on H9i because of the glasses. I guess you should try again without the glasses. Good luck. Well, I don't think it's the glasses because I compared both of these headphones while wearing glasses, and based on this baseline, the Beoplay H9i didn't have as much bass as compared to the 1000XM4. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Bro Talk. And if you like this video, if you've enjoyed it, if it has made your day, would you kindly please touch that like button with a vengeance and share this video with your friends, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and remember to ring the bell to join notification squad because I upload 2 new videos every single week. And this is the only way that YouTube will notify you. So subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you again in the next one. Oh, by the way, also remember to enable YouTube notifications in the settings menu, because if you don't enable that, you won't receive any notifications at all, even if you've rung the bell. Okay? So guys, I'll see you again in the next video.